opening statement, or you wanna?
No, I'll get started. Yeah, exhibition number 2. This one's a little bit unique. We played on Saturday, and we've literally had 2 practices since then. Kind of due to NCAA rules and days off that we have to take because as we move into the season, we've got some weeks where we have 3 games. So here it is on Thursday, and we've literally only practiced twice. So I thought there was a lot of positives in the first one. Mainly our guys got in a uniform, got on the court in front of fans, and went out and played and got through that part of it. This one's a different animal. Indiana University of Pennsylvania is extremely well coached. They're one of the elite Division II programs in the country. This is a veteran team, led by Armani Foster, a very, very big point guard, 6'4", 170 pounds, average just shy of 20 a game. Be a great challenge for our guys. They run great actions. They're an elite offensive rebounding team, and they're a team that can really, really shoot the basketball, especially from the 5 spot. So that'll be a great challenge for us. Again, we'll treat this a little more game-like than we did the first one, as our guys still learn how to handle scouting reports, and we've dove into that side of things a little bit more with Indiana University. And then we'll continue to work on rotations and see how that goes as we move forward. So excited about the opportunity to get fans back. I think we've got a sellout or within a few tickets of that. Also extremely excited about really kind of putting the last little bit of closure to last season, the ring ceremony, and going through that process and really saying thank you to everybody who was a part of making that year very, very special. So we'll do that before the game, and excited about that. One side note, I know there's a lot of speculation out there as Kofi's whatever. So we don't know anything at this point, so there's nothing to ask, there's nothing to talk about. We'll just go through the due diligence of him and the processes of that. So excited for the opportunity against a very, very good team, and we will definitely get tested.
Question?
Brad, when you have this kind of veteran team who I think you've made kind of points in the past about that they know the motions to go through at this point, how do you get the most out of these exhibition games, just given the talent disparity and the experience?
Well, there's not much talent disparity tomorrow. This team's good. This is the point guard had 30 against Elon last year. This is a team that has got real dudes, and they got real size, and they're extremely well coached. So there won't be any talent disparity. This will be a team that will have to show up, and we will get tested. They are going to punch us in the mouth. They're all old. They're grown men, and I'm excited about us seeing that early in the season. With veterans, you'd hope they'd understand we don't take anybody for granted. It's about playing us. It's about being us. We took Sunday off. We practiced Monday. We were horrible in practice. We haven't been very good after a day off. We had to take Tuesday off. We practiced yesterday, and it was pretty good. It was better. So you'd hope we're getting to that point where games are around the corner. Let's get dialed in, and I hope the veterans are leading the way in that area. It's what we want to see tomorrow.
Brad, you mentioned that you wish you maybe could have gotten a scrimmage for the team a week ago or a week and a half ago. Just have you been able to do anything extra just to in practice at all to challenge the veterans a little bit through the preseason, or how you approach it?
Yeah, no, we want our practices to be, I think that was one of the things that made us really, really special last year was our really led by Tyler. you know, Tyler is one of the all-time greatest trash talkers ever. And if you think I'm kidding, go ask anybody on our team, they'll tell you. But he always stirred it up, and it made practice very, very competitive. We were really good at that. To say we're at that level, we're not. You know, our young guys are still feeling their way through that, but you know, we've got a competitive spirit. We just have to learn to keep pushing that envelope from that side of things and start playing with that mindset of we're getting our guys better. We're getting better every single day on every play.
Hey, Coach, Luke Goody was the first freshman to get minutes last week, and I thought he was pretty impressive, and you praised him after the game. Where's he kind of at in his development as a true freshman?
Yeah, I think he's in a really good place. I have great appreciation for not just Luke, but RJ and Brandon from this standpoint. Those three guys spend more time, and they need to, spend more time than anybody watching film, understanding it. You know, they're dove into their deficiencies, and are attacking those things head on, whether it be with Fletch, whether it be an aspect of the game. This group of guys is really committed to getting better, and I like that. And you know, in regards to Luke, he just does everything you ask. He's a great listener. You know, offensively, he's very, very talented. We're going to see that at various points throughout the year. He's a young guy that's got some tools. So, you know, we'll see that with all of them. But this is, you know, Luke right now is in a really good place, and I'm very, very pleased with what he's been doing.
Hey, Coach, could you just walk through the process real quick? What you looked at from game 1 to game 2, and are you going to make some adjustments in this one? And then how's that carry over between this game and the opener against Jackson State?
Well, the first exhibition game, we didn't run anything. We ran 2 actions, and then we just kind of played in transition. We literally ran nothing. I mean, the play sheet, I kind of looked at it, and almost every time out, just to kind of trick you guys, like I was actually doing something. We only had 2 things we were going to run, and we ran 1 baseline out of bounds play. Actually, we ran the second one late. But we kept everything very vanilla. It was about playing hard. It was about getting out there and really kind of having fun and getting through all the nervousness and all of that. But now it's about execution. Now it's about, you know, really diving in and finding out what we can run, how we run it. We'll be much more game plan oriented. We spent hardly any time at all on the first one. Game planning will be a little more involved in this one, so our guys understand that. Then as you head into Jackson State, then you've got you've got a week, and you fine tune those things, and you know, you find that balance this time of year. You know, really fine tuning things in the half court, and yet you've got to play and get game like atmosphere and game like feel in practice a lot, and start working on situations. And you know, we've started that a little bit this week, and we'll continue that today. But yeah, time for a big jump.
As a follow-up, has someone taken over Tyler's role of maybe, you know, chirping a little bit in practice, or is he still doing that, you know, from the sidelines, or?
No one's taken over yet, but I think Luke Goody's well on his way to surpassing Tyler's trash talking and competitive stuff. I think we're going to be okay there. It's just a matter of, you know, carrying that over with everybody and making that a fight every single day on every play. And Luke's really good at that.
Brad, I know you said to this point there's no clarity, but the season being so close, 2 weeks or so away, I mean, do you have any expected timeline on when there might be clarity on the Kofi situation, or I guess how do you approach that, just being so close?
Your guess is as good as mine. I sit here and I don't know, and I coach him every single day to get better, and whenever there's something, there'll be something. Until then, I don't spend a second, you know, other than coaching, trying to get him better, and we'll go from there.
And then I guess you talked about in the, I guess media day about being tougher. How do you get that out of your guys in these two exhibitions before the season starts?
Well, we're gonna find out tomorrow where our toughness is at, because we've got a great opponent, and it's about, toughness isn't just physical. Toughness is the mental. Toughness is playing through fatigue. Toughness is about executing when you're tired. Toughness is about making a free throw when you're breathing hard. Toughness is a lot of things, and are we tough yet? We're not. We're not close to where we need to be, and we've got some guys who are really tough, but as a collective unit, yeah, we've got to still combine to fight for it as a group, and be tough, and not give in to an emotion or a bad call or a bad play or a team hits a hard three or the crowd goes crazy, against you. It's all toughness related stuff, and that's a very vague term I use, but we gotta get tougher.
Brad, it seems like, I know fans would like for another clean blowout like the first one, but it seems
So
like
is my wife. She really likes those a lot.
it seems like you would like for a competitive game where there's some adversity going into a schedule where you have a Arkansas State team that's gonna be pretty good and a Marquette road trip and all that stuff. You gotta get some stuff figured out.
Absolutely. And that's why they're on the schedule, that we knew exactly what we were getting when we scrimmaged them. Again, I haven't paid attention to the rankings there. I know they're ranked. I know this is a team that's had so much success in the past. I know, last year I think COVID pretty much wiped out their season. But a lot of veterans. I look at their roster; they're all redshirt juniors, redshirt seniors. I mean, those are grown men, and a lot of veterans, and they really shoot it. They're going to challenge us with some things we know we're going to see in league, and here in the preseason. So I hope they come out and just punch us, and I can't wait to see how we react, because reality is we're not going to play the games this year like we had the other night. And that's no offense to St. Francis.
Austin was in, at the end of that game, and maybe just to run the points. He's done that before, I think at Wesleyan, but how has he maybe evolved in that role for you guys?
It's a process. It's not his most natural position. We put him in that spot. We played DeMonte in that spot. A lot of times, we've been running Brandon Pajemski there a great deal as well. But he's a very capable handler. He's a great downhill finisher. And then, if you go under his ball screens, which they did the other night, he jumps up and makes one. So, and he's a good decision maker. It's just not something that it's not his best position. He's comfortable doing it, but he's really comfortable on the wing and straight line driving and getting into that offensive glass is one of his best attributes, and that's something that we've been experimenting with and looking at, but he's very comfortable on the wing.
Coach, you mentioned Luke kind of getting out there with the trash talk or surpass Tyler or whatever words you exactly used. Does that personality kind of feed into the toughness identity that you're kind of hitting at and that you want to see more of?
Yeah, I want competitive dudes. I want guys who won't accept failure, won't accept losing, won't accept, I tell people all the time, it's, if you're running and you gotta run a 6-minute mile and you're running a 5:59 just so you can make it, you're probably not my type of guy. If I think that you can run a 5-minute mile. If you're running it just to make it, gets really, really hard to be successful, and that's the toughness. And we got freshmen that are out there busting their butt trying to surpass Trent and Jacob. And I use a 6-minute mile. I mean, in everything, and that's what I love about that group is they are competitive and they're fighters, and it can be very intimidating as a freshman at 18 years old to be on the court with 23-year-olds who know what they're doing and have been through it, And, you know, you're just gonna line up and go at Trent Frazier, really? You know, that could be a little intimidating. Luke doesn't back down from that. He's pretty dialed into, doesn't matter who, what, where, let's go. And, you know, I call it a good scuffle in the Pizza Hut parking lot, but he'd be right there in the middle of that.
Coach, you said you're gonna run a little bit more set offense in this one. Can we anticipate a more defined role for a guy like Alfonso Plummer? I think he only got 4 shots in the first one. Are we gonna see some more spot-up jumpers from him?
Yes, and everybody else. I think you're gonna see more, we'll be forced to, have to play that way. You know, I mean, now they run, don't get me wrong, and we're gonna run, we're gonna do what we do. But the game will force itself into, you know, a game where you're gonna have to execute at different times. We're not gonna score, you know, 31 points under 7 seconds like we did the other night, and we didn't shoot it any good. The game will force that, and I'm excited about that as we can get into some of our packages that we have and start looking at how teams guard them, how they're executed, and gives us a pretty good roadmap for the future.
I know you kind of touched on it in a couple different answers here, but how do you know when your team has turned that corner for toughness? Like, are there benchmarks that you see? Is it a gut feel? I guess what goes into that?
Great question. There's a little bit of feel with that, but there's a you know when you walk out of practice. To me, it's the saying we have everyday guys, and when you walk out of practice and you know that your practice has been at a high level, and then it's about, you know, it's about our process, and our process is, you know, and I say this all the time, and people look at me like I'm crazy. You know, the scoreboard takes care of itself if you do your process right. And I know if it's not on our side, most nights, I'm okay with that if we've grown into that toughness, if we've grown into that execution. And I believe in what we do and how we've done it. And I think last year was a great example. And when we matured into a team that was really tough, but we were everyday guys. Man, we competed every single day, and we fought. And you know what? All of a sudden, my practices, my time was less because we were going so damn hard and competing. And so you get a feel for it, and you know the natural maturation. I don't want to make it sound like we're not. We just have another gear to get to, and I'm not complacent with last year. We tricked off 4 or 5 games last year that we should not have, and we're trying to get those under control with toughness and with execution. And so, you know, you gotta feel, you gotta walk out of practice and know that, damn, we were good today. And you know, when you start stacking those days one on top of the other, you pretty much turn the corner.
And then with this ring ceremony, does the schedule line up where Io or Georgie could get back? How's that work? Do you expect anyone back, I guess, for that tomorrow?
No, I don't think there's any chance. I think that, you know, we've tried with that part of things, and you know, we'll kind of be the group that's here. You know, obviously Georgie's in with the G League and their training camp, and obviously you know, Io's got an NBA schedule that he's got to adhere to, and yeah, we'll be the group that's here, and we're gonna have a big time, and we're gonna celebrate what was a heck of a year with an unbelievable group of people involved.
I think RJ's first play he made when he checked in Saturday was offensive rebound and a putback on a missed free throw. Is that just maybe a moment where, just where he understands maybe that's what gets him on the court?
Yeah, and RJ is RJ's a guy that's made a big jump. He's had a good week. RJ's so athletic. That young guy has no idea how good he can be. And he's so athletic, and we saw him jump up and make a three. He's an elite cutter. He's got a very high IQ in terms of feel of the game. And, you know, he's like any freshman, like all of our freshmen, you know, still trying to grasp the defensive side of things and the assignments. But they're all getting better, and RJ's going to be a guy that he's got a huge ceiling, huge.
Coach, can you address Kofi, Big Ten preseason player of the year?
Absolutely. Thank you, because I neglected. Obviously, I think it's pretty special that I think there's 31 conferences, and so there's only 31 guys, and I know it's preseason, and we can, you know, us coaches throw our coach speak on a lot of things and say it's only preseason, but I think there's a respect factor that goes with being named preseason Big Ten Player of the Year in the best league in the country, and I think that automatically throws you in a lot of the national talks, and he's a young man who's, I've said, is an absolute joy to coach, and I couldn't be prouder of our university, of our program, having him in it, having him be a part of so many people's lives, and it's a great honor for him. And you know, I say it all the time, I'm blessed when I get to coach him, and you know, to be a preseason first team All-American. On top of that, IO received those awards last year as a preseason All-American. I think it's Illinois basketball. I feel like we're in a right place, and our brand is growing, and we've got to continue to grow that. We've got to continue to build with high character guys like that. But Kofi was very deserving in a league that's got elite big center, and for him to win that award was a pretty special moment.